Boy, do I sure have a tale to tell for you guys. You get it? A tale? We're going to talk about whales. Tale? Anyway, last night many of you tuned into WrestleMania, and it was a huge event. It's the biggest event in WWE for the year, and sometimes there a lot of historical things are happening. Shaquille O'Neal showed up, and a lot of celebrities showed up to actually battle in the Battle Royal, in the ladder fight, or whatever it happens. I don't really watch it, but it's a big event because you got the biggest and the baddest of the WWE fighting each other. So why am I talking about WWE? Because the big fights. I love the big fights. And there are some major fights that happen in the ocean. Case in point, this past week, there was a huge battle between marine mammals. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, marine mammals, they're friendly. You know, dolphins, you've got orcas, you've got gray whales, you've got humpback whales. They make these beautiful sounds in the water, and they, you know, the way they glide through the water with their huge size, and sometimes they breach, and it looks amazing. But it's not all fine and dandy all the time. They actually get into some pretty big fights. And last week, the Pacific Marine Whale Watch Association witnessed one of the biggest marine mammal fights that they've seen in a long, long time between orcas and gray whales. Now, orcas are, you know, a lot of people think that, oh no, they're victimized because they're, when, you know, you hear about the orcas in SeaWorld, but you don't really hear much about the orcas in the wild. When you do, it's usually about how they're dying off or they're not doing very well. Well, they're actually doing quite well. There's a baby boom and it looks amazing. And the population is growing and everybody's happy. Well, most people, but that's another episode. Anyway, what happened here is in the wild, there's resident and transient orcas. Resident orcas stay in a specific area and they tend to feed on salmon or whatever's popular in that area. The transient orcas are the ones that are the big predators. They will eat marine mammals. They will eat sharks. They have been witnesses have seen orcas actually tear apart great whites, tiger sharks, all sorts of different types of large mammals, sharks, and they're actually quite a fierce predator. But that's what they are. They're orcas. So this past week, they actually saw 4 orcas move in after they fed on a seal. There was a pod of orcas that kind of broke off, fed on a seal that the Whale Watch Association viewed it, all this, and they thought, wow, this is kind of a cool thing, seeing, you know, we feel bad for the seals, but seeing that these orcas do such a good job, an efficient predator, such a good job of eating this hunting and eating the seal. But then they saw the gray whales, and the Whale Watch people were like, well, we're not going to see anything happen because there's no way that you'll see 4 orcas take on 2 much larger gray whales. Well, it happened. One orca went over there and a bunch of orcas went over there and took on these 2 gray whales, and there was splashing, there was fin fighting, there was fins flying all over the place, pectoral fins hitting each other. The gray whales were witnessed rolling around dozens and dozens of times. It was quite the epic battle, but in the end, one orca got squashed between 2 of the gray whales, couldn't get out until the mother of that orca. These orcas, you got to remember, are really well known. They have names and everything, so they're very well monitored. Mother orca came over and almost like the analogy would be taking the kid by the ear and pulling him away, saying, "You've had enough. You've lost, and now you've learned your lesson. Come with me and let's go." And the 2 orcas with the other 2 calves went off with their mother and had a great day, licking their wounds as they go off. But it just goes to show, this story, I wanted to let you know that no, it's not a fact that these animals fight all the time, but it is a predatory battle. Whether it was territorial or they were looking for food, orcas are a predator, and they are an efficient predator, and they are an apex predator, and this happens quite often. We just don't see it often because we don't know much about orcas in the wild. But more monitoring, more whale watching happening, and people can actually see these wonderful beasts go at it in what is Mother Nature's way. And I think it's kind of an interesting aspect to see this in the wild firsthand, something that I would like to see. Obviously, I don't want to see any marine mammal get hurt, but this is nature. It's not us doing it, it's nature. So I thought I'd share that story with you. Link to the story is actually down below. Of course, there's also links to speakupforblue.com page, Facebook page, Twitter, and everything like that. Subscribe. right down here to get more ocean news every day in April. It's Veda. This is the 4th day that we're doing this, and we're going to continue. So I will see you tomorrow. Happy conservation.